What's going on, guys? This is Michael MGF, and today I'll be doing another custom LEGO minifigure showcase video, this time on the King of Wakanda, Black Panther, to celebrate tonight's release of Black Panther. And of course, as you might notice, this is a solo showcase. There's no one else, no Killmonger, no Okoye, no one else for this showcase, unfortunately, and that is because I'm working on like 17 minifigures for Avengers Infinity War. I finished 3 now, so it's more like 14, so that's cool. But either way, it's taking up most of my free time, and unfortunately, even though I would have freaking loved to make Killmonger, and I still might after Infinity War, I was like, yeah, man, if I want to keep going, if I want to actually, make it to Infinity War with like the most kick-ass minifigures you've ever seen to celebrate the biggest Marvel movie ever, I wasn't going to be able to make the, a bunch of minifigures for Black Panther. However, it worked out, kind of, halfway, because Black Panther does wear the exact same suit for Infinity War, so I was able to nail 2 birds with 1 stone with this video, and thankfully showcase Black Panther for his solo film, and then get right back on course for Infinity War, because like I said, same suit, man, it works out. So with all that said, let's get started. Okay, so I think the first thing I was thinking about when starting on Black Panther's new suit for the movie was basically how was I going to improve upon the first version that I did for Civil War a couple years back, and that was basically, the improvements I wanted to make were definitely with the helmet, because there were a couple factors that I really didn't like about the Civil War suit. As cool of a minifigure as this was, the front of it was really smushed in, and it really didn't have much of a nose or like a snout area, whatever you want to call it, so I definitely improved upon that with the initial sculpt before doing any painting. But also what I wanted to do that I also forgot on this version a couple years back was the indentation with the ears and how the actual helmet kind of goes inwards and the ears kind of protrude a little bit outwards, and that was the case on the first Black Panther suit. I just kind of neglected that detail and I just didn't do it, and so I really wanted to make sure I did it for this figure this time around. And how I went about doing that was basically just taking a regular drill bit, not even the new Dremel I got, just a regular drill that I've had for years now, and then just kind of engraving, without kind of, ruining the actual edges of, both ears. We're just kind of going, making an outline and then just kind of bringing the drill bit downward. So it was really rough at first, but then I sanded the sides down to make it look like a really smooth transition, into that kind of like effect. It's kind of hard to describe, but you can kind of see what I'm saying with what I did there if you compare it to like a regular Batman cowl, which is what I started with. So having started with a regular Batman cowl, of course, I had to fill in the eyes, I had to sculpt the entire nose area, I had to, again, do that whole indented effect, but also the amount of sanding required to get a Batman cowl from A to B. It was definitely, it's extensive, it's pretty intense how much sanding goes into making a Black Panther helmet look like this when it starts out as a freaking, bulky looking Batman cowl. So there was that, but another thing that happened along the line of, of making the figure, well, like right around when I was about to finish it, was I posted the first preview on social media and everybody freaked out. Half of people loved it and then half of people really were bothered by the eyes. And I mean, even I was bothered by the eyes as I was making the figure, but I just kind of ignored that feeling and I went with it anyway because I was still pretty satisfied with it. But then, oh my God, were people vocal. And so I spent that night repainting the eyes and reworking the design. And I think it was definitely for the better because I think that the figure looks a lot better now and definitely way more improved. So there is that, but then also the actual design work that went into the making of Black Panther's suit was definitely pretty challenging because you look at his suit and first of all, reference is pretty limited in terms of angles of his arms. The number one problem with making the, getting the design right, and I'm still not even fully convinced that I have it right to begin with, is you have all of these like lines and designs and different, details that really blend in well with his costume. So it is incredibly difficult with the reference available right now to see exactly where different details and where different things lie, and so I just really tried to pull whatever I could out of the reference that I had, from the Hot Toys figure to the suit having been on display at various shows, and just whatever I could to kind of surmise a design through the process of selection, which is also what I do for Iron Man suits, and just trying to pick out what I think would be best to put onto the LEGO minifigure. And so that also came in the form of the torso design, obviously, and the torso design is actually
based off of Lego's torso design from their new Black Panther minifigure they put out this year. However, with Legos, they just kind of did silver lines, and while that, they are accurate silver lines, they aren't actually silver in the movie, and they're more complicated than that. And so I did my best to portray that, along with all of those like various details running all throughout the vibranium weave suit, by using metallic black as a secondary color, counter to the matte black used as the primary color for the suit. And then I outlined all of those metallic lines in dark gray. So it was definitely a pretty tedious process, and it was definitely pretty time consuming. Nothing I haven't done before, but I think it definitely served this minifigure really well, and I had a great time painting it. Another thing I really wanted to improve on this time around as well was obviously the necklace. You'll notice the necklace is 3D, whereas the first time I made Black Panther, it was just a part of Lego's printed design. However, this time, of course, I wanted to make it look a lot better, more realistic, and more accurate. And so what I did was I took the same rubber material that I've used countless times before, carved out each an individual tooth, 7 on both sides of the minifigure. I'm not gonna lie, I think there's more like 5 or 6 on the back of the torso, but I didn't know that until after the fact, so that's a thing. Either way, I glued on each one of those, and I'm pretty happy with the way those turned out after painting everything up. And also what I did was added kind of like a little it's kind of like a little black line above both sides of the both necklaces. And so it's not really both necklaces, but just both sides of the torso where the necklace lies, and it kind of makes it look like the tooth pieces are actually attached to something. And so there is that. And then also you might notice the claws are fully painted. The hands have fully painted detail this time around as well. And of course you can't really fit 5 claws onto a minifigure hand, but I did what I could, and I'm really happy the way the detail turned out on both sides of the minifigure's hands. And I shouldn't say both sides of the minifigure's hands, I should say on both hands. I can words today. So there is that. And then also you have all these metallic silver bits on the legs painted around all 4 sides, and I don't really know what they're called. They're kind of like teeth or like spikes or whatever the hell, but I did my best to paint those on as accurately and position them well as possible. And so there is that. And aside from that, the entirety of the minifigure is pretty self-explanatory, and I think that pretty much does it for the new Black Panther suit. I'm pretty happy with the way this minifigure turned out. Definitely miles ahead of the first figure I made a couple years back for Civil War. And yeah, so I think on that note, that is pretty much it for this showcase. Hopefully I'll get the chance to make Killmonger at some point after Infinity War. If not, I had a great time making this suit, and that's it, man. All right, let's wrap this up.
Who's the king now? Listen, pal. This is great and all, but it doesn't work out, man. The trailers are already out for Infinity War. Wakanda is still there. T'Challa's still alive. And now we got this purple guy to deal with. No one has time for your shit. Go home.
Hey, man.
Time to go, Johnny. You got that gun with the anti-vibranium bullets? Yeah, here you go. Thanks, man. Alright guys, there you go. That is it for the Black Panther showcase, and damn, that is crazy to say. It still feels like just last year that it was 2014 and we were watching the Marvel Phase 3 announcement when they showed the first Infinity War teaser and announced Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, but here we are. It's February 2018. The movie's coming out tonight, and I've heard that it is an absolute triumph. I have heard that it is a game changer, and I really cannot wait to see what Ryan Coogler and crew and Marvel have delivered with this film. And yeah, so if you think this minifigure is cool, if you like it, you dislike it, whatever, let me know. Drop a like or a comment. Whatever you feel like doing, anything is greatly appreciated because you guys are the best and the reason that I continue to do this. And I think on that note, I will leave you with the social medias and shameless plugs like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All those places are definitely worth checking out. And seriously, because I post minifigures over there before they're ever showcased. I'm going to be posting more Infinity War previews than I already have over there long before they ever get showcased in May, or, long before I even do like a making of video. So seriously, if you want to see Infinity War minifigures early and all my future projects are coming in 2018 early, they will all show up there before they ever make it here. So that's why I always recommend it, man, because it really benefits you more than anyone else if you think my minifigures are cool. If not, then don't bother. Either way, that's it. And I'll catch you guys later. All right. Wakanda forever. That was lame. Sorry. Okay, I'm going. Bye. all of it. So, yeah, that's it. Let's get started.
Really? The freaking AC outside had to right then. Okay. You know, I was gonna do a second skit, but then I wasn't really feeling it, and I mean, I figured the first one was okay. I kind of want to go see the movie. I mean, what do you want from me?
This time on the King of Wakanda, Black Panther. Bleh.